T Show is intended for mature audiences. Parental discussion is advice. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Are friends with benefits?
Speaking of having a good time, Terry.
Dayton broke the G&T show. This is now the David Mack
Appreciation Hour. You assholes.
What is it about this guy that people love him so much?
With his purple velvet cape and his crown. I thought it was a little much when he had us carry him in the studio on a throne. I am awesome! Look what I have done! Look what I have brought upon the world!
There is an urge to go nya.
I heard rumors that you might be working on something else, but we won't prod much. I was going to say
I'm going to pry a little.
Dare you! How dare you ask me to change it? Do you not understand the majesty of my genius? And the guy sitting next to me looked at me like he was, like I'd crapped in his hat.
Yeah, it's the professionalism that sells the show. That's right. Welcome, everyone, to another G&T Show Supplemental Log. I'm Terry Lynn, and today, to my left, your right, wearing his full honor guard wear, is our resident Klingon, Ceridium.
Kapla!
And to my left, your right, my right, your left, somewhere over there. Whatever Nick would say, and much better than I would. Special guest Klingon, Deyvid.
Kapla. Happy to be here.
He pronounced it right.
I know. He's all special and everything. And our special guest for this week's Supplemental Log is a wonderful actress and singer by the name of Jen Usellis. You guys might know her as what I call the singing Klingon, who's done some amazing and very, very fun music videos and has a Kickstarter and everything. So we brought her on to kind of get the word out about what a fantastic project that she's got going. And Jen, welcome to the G&T Show.
Kapla.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I just have to start off with the first real big question. For a lot of people who do not know, the Klingon Kickstarter is called the Klingon Pop Warrior Music Project. Currently, it has 76 backers. She's got almost. You're getting there, Jen. You're getting there. $1,480 towards 77% done towards your goal of $1,900, and you still have 31 days to go. So everybody can head over, and we'll make sure that the links get on our show notes and everything. When people are download this, they can just click on it and head straight over. But again, welcome.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be doing all the podcasts. I'm excited to be here.
All right, the first question, Deyvid, do you want to take it?
I don't have the prepared questions, but somebody wants to.
No, we don't have prepared questions.
Oh, there
you
go.
I just figured you'd have one.
Well, yeah, I got several, of course. First off, I'm very happy to meet you and to speak with you because I was a big fan, still am a big fan of HIchop, and I just kind of wondered how did that come about, but then that led into this project, and how has it been different? How has it been the support from that project to this one?
So HIchop came about because I had worked with a Klingon Christmas Carol and Improvised Star Trek. If you are not familiar with them, you need to be familiar with their podcast. They are absolutely amazing. They are an improv group here in Chicago, but they have this incredible podcast. And during one of their podcast tapings, one of the improvisers made this very, very specific reference to Sixpence None the Richer's Kiss Me. And by the end of the improvisation, when they were going back in post-production, they realized they needed to have that song in Klingon. So they started attempting. They pulled out their Klingon dictionaries, and they were trying to go about translating it. Realized they were in way over their head. They had worked with the Klingon Christmas Carol folks as well, so they got in touch with them and said, "Could you help us out with this?" So the Klingon Christmas Carol folks did the translation for them, gave it back to them. They were going to then go and sing the song, took one look at it, and we're like, we are in over our heads again, and went back to Klingon Christmas Carol, and we're like, so do you possibly have someone who could sing this? And Chris Kidder Mostrom, who is the artistic director for Commedia Beauregard and a friend of mine, he said, actually, I do. You need to talk to Jen Usellis. She, not only does she have great Klingon pronunciation, but she's also an absolutely fantastic vocalist in her own right. So just go and talk to her and see if she would be interested in doing it. And I jumped on it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Absolutely. So I took some time, and I got the words, and I kind of got a karaoke track, and found one that I could use that didn't have any backup vocals or anything like that to sort of throw me. And I started learning the song, and we had a Sunday afternoon. I went over, it was done. We recorded it using a karaoke track off YouTube, and
great.
did it in the living room of Nick's house, and we were laughing, and the recording turned out so good. I even layered on some harmonies, and we finished, and we were kind of sitting around laughing, going, oh, we should make a music video. So, because all it was supposed to be was background for the podcast. The episode is about a Klingon teenage girl and her single father, and they attack the USS Sisyphus, and which is the ship in the show, in the podcast.
Don't tell me it doesn't get anywhere.
I probably, no. Pretty much with that crew. And so this girl, she's trying to reconcile her feelings about being a teenage girl and reconcile that with being a warrior, and that's how they're talking about music at one point and the songs you can use, I think is what it is, to get yourself through those moments. And by the end of the episode, they're throwing her a pseudo, like a Klingon prom, and it's just hilarious. And so this was just supposed to be a background song for this Klingon prom, and they end up, so that was all it was. And we end up doing this goofy music video. I go in another day, and I throw on my ridges and jump around in front of the green screen and, just get a little goofy. And then they took it and they edited it and put it out there. And it kind of, overnight, we were going, oh, my God, we have 100,000 views. What?
Leave it to the Trekkies, I'll tell you.
Right.
And especially the Klingon fans, we're like, a lot of us have like our radars going for what pops up that's Klingon, and when that popped up, it definitely hit the radar, and a lot of fans were sharing it. I actually played it on my show on Trek Radio. But you're going to re-record it for this new project, right, in the studio?
I am. Because, like I said, the original recording was just done with a karaoke track in a living room, and it sounds great, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. But I have musicians now that, are going to, and I can go in and I can get, really nice, clear sound, and really kind of just give it a little extra sound engineering treatment too. And that first one, we didn't auto-correct it or auto-tune it or anything. That's me singing, and that is what you're going to get.
Oh, it's great.
But
yeah, no, and I'm glad you didn't, because I prefer vocalists who don't. So, but it's fantastic, and it's one of the reasons why we had you on the show, just because you made such an impact to really break through, not just in the internet, but to actually break through and kind of become your own meme. And, you make an impact on Trekkies when we all kind of go, oh, my God, did you see the Klingon music video? I mean, because it's so great. It's so funny, and it's so great. And it's just such a wonderful tribute that we haven't seen a lot of Klingon material in the past couple of years. So it's a nice, refreshing thing to see.
What drew you to, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
go.
What drew you to the Klingons?
Well, honestly, I got cast in a Klingon Christmas Carol. I was not a big Trekker or a Trekkie, whichever you prefer is your preferred moniker. I'm an actress. I have a degree in theater, and I've always been drawn to those sort of quirky projects. And I knew Chris Kidder from living up in Minneapolis, and he was coming to Chicago, and he was staying with my husband and I while we were he was apartment hunting, and he goes, hey, guess what, I'm bringing Klingon Christmas Carol to Chicago, because it had been running already for a couple of years up in Minneapolis quite successfully. And I went, oh man, I would love to do that. Something silly. He goes, well, are you allergic to latex? And I'm like, no. And he goes, well, we'll get you out for the auditions. And I'm like, great. So I kind of went into it I watched some DS9 when it came out, but I really didn't watch Star Trek. I just kind of went into it for the fun of it as an actor. And by the time I was done that first year, I really actually kind of was drawn to the fans first. Okay. And like, I just loved the fact that the fandom made something like that show possible. Like, we had an audience and they loved what we were doing because of this universe. And so while I was doing the show, I was watching I started watching the Klingon-centric episodes and things like that, and just kind of getting a feel for it and just sort of contemplating what it meant to be a warrior. And like what that warrior culture is, and kind of living in the moment, and not just fighting hard and being willing to die for a cause, but playing hard and loving hard and laughing hard and drinking hard. Like, it's sort of that credo of really.
It's a hard day's life.
It's a hard day's life, and today is a good day to die, and you might as well live every moment to the fullest, and I really was really drawn to that. I found that really, really fascinating, and I just really loved that, and hoped that I brought some of that to my performance in the show. And now I'm a member of the Klingon Assault Group, and
awesome.
And I'm really trying to use this particular project to kind of give that. Show that there's a lot of fun in the fandom. I think sometimes the Klingons get a bad rep, and it's not friendly or whatever. And really, this is something that I feel like can really cross those divides a little bit. And, and really show the playful side of the Klingon fandom, and Klingons too, because, hey, they've got an 8-chambered heart. Their heart will go on, just like Klingons. Like, So that's really, I guess, now, a large part of it.
You said that you were in Klingon Christmas Carol in the Chicago production.
Yes.
Was last year your first year performing?
No, I actually was in the 2010 and 2011 productions.
Okay.
And so I did the first 2 years that it was in Chicago, which was a lot of fun, and really it was still trying to gain momentum. Our first year we got a lot of really good press, and it was a lot of fun. But the last couple of years, it's kind of really gained its foothold.
Yeah.
And I had actually started singing in a band that was doing quite well. So I was taking some time off and kind of pursuing non-Klingon-y things for a while.
Non-Klingon things, right.
And
we call those things real life. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just kidding, Deyvid.
And that's when then improvised Star Trek kind of came around last year, and in the spring, and was like, hey, would you do this for us? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I would love to dive back into that a little bit. And now, another year later, I have the time and the strangely considerable energy, and I have all the resources finally to be able to put this all together. I'm just excited.
Oh, it's great. The current Kickstarter project has you slated to do 4 songs, correct?
Right.
Okay, and those songs are a redo, or I should say, a
professional
update,
master making.
A professional, a brushed up version of Sixpence, None the Richer's Kiss Me, which Deyvid pronounced for me in Klingon.
HIchop.
Okay. And then a version of Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Yes. Bangwit walor kipka.
There you go.
Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On.
Which is, oh no, I'm on the wrong page. Tikwij.
Okay. And then this one is going to blow my mind. I can't wait to hear it, because I know this is going to happen. But it's Disney's from Disney's Frozen, Let It Go.
Yebushko. Yes.
which is going to be awesome. Now, has anybody? And now I have to ask, because everybody who's loved the movie Frozen. What was that, Mikey?
I'm going to get my niece and nephew to learn it in Klingon.
That's awesome.
Just watch.
because now I'm all demanding, because there's a version of the video of Let It Go where they splice in every language that Disney recorded the movie in. And I'm like, okay, what they need now is somebody to slip in the Klingon right in the middle of the Swedish and the Russian, which would be really great. So now you said that there are stretch goals as well. Why don't you talk a little bit about those?
Right. So I have the 4 songs, but as I was thinking about the Kickstarter, I kind of went, wow, I'm really not asking for a lot of money in the grand scheme of Kickstarters. This isn't like the Veronica Mars movie or anything like that, and so I was like, well, I should probably have some other stuff lined up. And I had heard that one of a translator who wasn't involved yet had a translation of Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. And I was like, oh man, that would be great. And so I'm like, well, I have that as a stretch goal, and that would be a lot of fun. And then I was thinking about what I needed to do if I was going to go to conventions and put on a performance, figure out stuff for like a Filk track thing or something like that. And I'm like, well, it'd be really fun to have a couple of English songs in my pocket that are still kind of warrior-based. And so immediately I'm like, Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar. And when I brought that up, Chris Lipscomb, Kirk, he goes, I actually have that translated already. And I'm going, what?
Awesome.
So I got really excited. I'm like, all right, I'm adding that. And I made that one actually my sort of final song stretch goal, because I think 6 songs would make it'll make for a nice CD. Yeah. And like a nice CD experience. I mean, a 4-song EP is fairly standard, but 6 rounds it out nicely. I was giving myself also a pretty abbreviated time frame to do all this in, so much more than 6 songs. Once I really started the ball rolling, I'm like, no, let's stick with 6. I can do 6 because I don't necessarily have to have them memorized when I go into the studio. So yeah, I can do that, and I'm working with a couple of really great musicians and that I've worked with in the past who are really accommodating and just absolutely fantastic guys. And so I knew that they would be able to handle it too. And so we're already rehearsing. We've had two rehearsals already. Everything is pretty much fleshed out at this point. So we have 2 more rehearsals next week and the week after, and we're actually going to be going into the recording studio before the Kickstarter ends. So there's a lot riding on actually coming out, at least meeting my goal. I'm lucky because the studio I'm using the guy is absolutely fantastic. I included a track on the Kickstarter of a non-Klingon project that I recorded there, and the quality is just, he gives great quality, and he's not going to bleed me dry, but it would be really nice to not have it all come out of pocket in the end, if right. And if I don't meet the goals, the big problem is are the rights. These are all translations. These aren't actually they're not filked per se. They're for the most part literal translations, and there's a couple I could probably skate by on with like HIchop and stuff like that. The words were changed, to kind of accommodate the Klingon culture, and same thing with Let It Go. There was some stuff in there, but as a musician myself, I don't take kindly to the notion of people stealing other people's hard work, even if it is, Britney Spears, and bless her heart, And so I really want to do right by the musicians, and the rights for all of these songs cost almost as much as just getting the CDs duplicated. So I really want to make sure that if I don't meet the Kickstarter goal, I'm going to have to come up with a different timeline and time frame and way to release these songs, to the public without getting myself in legal hot water. So.
Well, and but it just shows the etiquette that's involved in the professional world. I mean, in the entertainment industry, even our podcast does the same thing. As we don't use anybody's music unless we actually have the permission to use it. And we've been extraordinarily extraordinarily lucky, but we are also smart too. And that was, let's go to the people who make Star Trek music, and we might as well stay with it. But you're right. I mean, to be able to do what's right, to get those rights to use the music is, and we applaud you for that. And good luck. I know that you're going to reach it, though. I have no doubt. I have no doubt you're going to reach that goal, so hopefully it won't be an issue.
Well, and that,
Mikey. Oh, go ahead, David.
Well, and that speaks to the quality, the level of attention and dedication to it. And we're definitely, going to help spread the word and get as much supporters as we can. But just all along the line, going to actual talented Klingon speakers, I could vouch for everybody involved that this is going to be 100% accurate Klingon. It's not going to be, we've seen different Klingon parodies pop up. Some of them are in English. The fact that this is in Klingon is awesome. And then the fact that it's in accurate, real Klingon, not, there's the Bing translator that doesn't always give you Klingon. It'll give you bad Bingon. But, yeah, this is going to be quality across the board. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And I take a lot of care with my pronunciation, too. That's something that's really important to me, is to pronounce it as accurately as possible with an attention to it, almost like an opera singer in that regard. So that's something I've worked really hard for, not breaking up words in weird places and stuff like that. So.
And speaking of Klingon opera, I'm just wondering whether or not anybody's heard a full version of Melota. Need to know. Does one exist, David?
I've actually only heard short versions of it. I haven't heard an entire opera from that.
We need to find somebody who wrote that to begin with and say, make it whole.
Finish it, yes.
Yeah, well, no kidding.
You guys know about Ooh, right?
Oh, yeah, definitit
That was supposed to come to the United States in 2015. It's the one that I think started in Sweden.
Yeah.
And it was the Klingon opera, and they just announced on their page that they're basically pulling out and not until they get more funding to do it. They need to do a Kickstarter.
They need to do a Kickstarter. Yeah. They need to do, but it is. I can understand that. That's expensive. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And but so Jen, you said that you started. Mike, first, do you have any questions?
Well, you had mentioned that you're working with a few musicians. So, do you have a name for your band, for your backup band?
Oh, I don't. I should come up with one though.
That'd be cool.
Man, my Klingon name. I came up with a Klingon name.
Oh, let's hear that.
My Klingon name, it's fairly easy. It's Jen Baum. Jen actually means high, or to be high in Klingon, and Baum means song. So I thought that was kind of cool. It means high song. So.
Cool.
I love it.
I don't have a band name. I'm gonna have to come up with a band name now. Now you've challenged me, David. Get on that, because
I threw down the gauntlet. Yeah.
David, get on that. I love that. Jen, you're one of us. I'm just saying, David, get on that. No, David is my go-to guy when I ever need, because I do fan fiction. I write when I can, and if I need something translated because I have a character that supposedly speaks fluent Klingon, and to be able to sit down and go, okay, yeah, I've got all the books, but the books don't help very much with conjugation. So, right. Yeah. who do you have somebody like David, or do you rely on David? I mean, who's your go-to people for your translations?
I am working with Chris Lipscomb, who is known as Kurg, and Michael Roney, Nakhun, I believe, and Tracy Canfield, whose name I don't know. She did the Bad Romance translation, and Felix Malmström. He's over in Sweden. He actually did the translation of Lograd. He did the translation of Let It Go, and I hadn't realized at the time it's actually the one that's on the Klingon Language Institute website.
Oh,
and
very cool.
So that is the translation that I'm using. What's funny, when I had the 3 songs already, I had Kiss Me, and I had Hit Me Baby One More Time, and I had My Heart Will Go On. and I'd had them for a while, but I didn't have a fourth song. And a friend of mine was right when Frozen was just really, just everybody was just going crazy over Let It Go. And a friend of mine said, "Why is there no version of Let It Go in Klingon yet on the internet?" And he goes, "Jen Usellis, get on that." And so he put that on his Facebook page and tagged me. And so I went on my Facebook page and said, "Hey, does anybody have a translation of Let It Go in Klingon?" And immediately Felix messaged me, and he goes, "Actually, I do." And he emailed it to me. So that was, I had wanted, if I was going to do a Klingon EP of some kind, I wanted 4 songs, a minimum of 4 songs. And so that ended up being my 4th song. And then it just became a matter of time and trying to find the time to actually be able to do it, and then get the buy-in from people. You know, I mean, I'm going to pay my musicians, I'm going to pay the translators and stuff like that, but to get the buy-in, early on for rehearsals and stuff before I potentially have the money, and say, let's try this. So,
Mikey, did you have another one?
No, but I did find the questions.
Oh, you did. Good. Okay. We're talking about other questions, Jen. So we're talking about the Lipton questions that the G&T show uses.
The top 10.
Kind of. Yeah. We bastardized them for our own use, mind you. We twist them to no end, but wanted to make sure that I kind of have most of them in my head, but whatever. Now the next question I have for you is about, we talked about the language. We talked about your help in the translate. Oh, you mentioned briefly that while you were putting together and kind of working with Klingon Christmas Carol and other Klingon projects, that you kind of started to watch the Klingon-centric episodes of Star Trek. Have you watched any other Star Trek outside of that since then?
I have. We watched, my husband and I started watching Voyager. He thought I would really be drawn to Kate Mulgrew. He's like, he goes, "I think a female captain would be a good foray for you into."
So is he a Star Trek fan?
My husband actually is. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I think he's a bigger one than he lets on. And that
I was that way for a long time, and then it just all went to hell.
Yeah, I think, and so now I've been sitting and I watched all of season 1 of Next Generation this past weekend. I watched the whole thing. I was sewing all weekend. I've been teaching myself to sew. And,
nice.
Testing.
Yay!
It's when you fucking use a Packlid middleman through a Ferengi to buy Klingon fucking equipment. This is what happens.
Everybody, Nick is here.
Just went crazy.
Yeah, welcome to the G&T show. When Nick is on, we actually have, and we've now earned, again, our explicit rating. Thank you, hon.
We were doing so well.
Oh, no, we want to. This is a goal of ours. We never want to go without the little black box. I'm just saying.
I will clean it up for Trek Radio, though.
Oh, yeah, we have to triple it up, which will make it funny.
Depends on the time that we play it, but yeah.
But yeah, so it started for me. I started watching Voyager, and I did love me some Janeway. I was all about her space bun. And when she got the bob, the next season, I was like, now since it's already they've been dropped, I was like, what the fuck is her hair? Where did the space bun go? I'm like, are you kidding me? I was so mad about her losing the space bun. But
and then it changed each season or each couple of episodes. It seemed like she was in the parlor getting a new hairdo.
Yeah, I was not okay with her losing the space bun. But I loved everything about the way she speaks on that show. It's just like, engage, Chakotay. There's coffee in that nebula. I loved it all. I loved her. And yeah, and then
7, you cannot understand until you've actually lived it.
I had no idea that her and Jerry Ryan, there was all kinds of nasty. I had no idea. And then that made me sad, I have to admit.
Yeah. It is rare you see them together.
Yeah.
They're very rare.
Otherwise I've been watching TNG and I actually started watching the original series too, because the reason I'm teaching myself to sew is that I am going to build a Mara costume from Day of the Dove. So if you see my progression on my Instagram, you'll see me, I've been building mock-ups. and teaching myself how to like sew a tunic, because I'm not going to wear those little I'm not going to do the shorts. But yeah, that's essentially what I did all last weekend. And that was why I think I was able to stomach the entire first season of TNG, because I was not always fully paying attention.
Well, I was going to say, you got through the worst part, I think.
Right.
I mean, she got through Code of Honor, people. Let's give her a hand.
I was going to say, I made it through the black goo monster.
Yeah.
What was the black goo monster? That was absolutely...
Wait a minute. What season are you on, though, with TNG?
She just finished 1.
Oh, because she still has the end of season 2 to get through. That episode.
Oh, well, that's okay. That comes through. It's just 1. It's not as bad as, like, percentage-wise as season 1. Come on, you know it. She got through Code of Honor, dude.
Yeah, but season 1 had the cool one with the head that blows up.
I don't even remember that. I did watch a lot of it, though.
With the little slug-like aliens that
crawled in your mouth and down.
Oh, yeah!
The evil Quado.
Yeah.
And they were eating Ferengi grub worms at the table.
That should have been the final episode of the season. I was very confused. Like, if you're taking over, if some sort of strange bug race is taking over the leadership of the Federation, why is that the last episode?
Well, I don't know if you know. I know that Terry and Mike and David probably know. Originally, that's what the Borg were going to be. They were setting up the big bad for further down the line to be that species, but then...
Well, because it ended with the little beacon, like the homing beacon sound, like saying, here's Earth.
Yeah, but in the end, they changed it to the... Partially because of the people's reaction to somebody's head exploding on Star Trek.
Bunch of babies.
Star Trek via David Lynch.
Yeah. Well, and that's the first and only time we see phaser set to like meat bomb or meat explosion. It's like it didn't just disintegrate it; it blew it up.
Set your phaser to saute.
Yeah, it was pretty fabulous. It actually reminded me of like the little monster at the end. Well, at the end of Spaceballs. Like, I wanted him to start singing, "Hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gal."
I got a 3-day in-school suspension for doing that with the frog.
In biology class? Are you kidding?
No, yeah, after we took everything out of it, I put it on my fingers and was doing
Oh, God.
I can't believe they suspended you with that. I won't tell you what we did with our frog school.
Oh,
whatever.
You went to a Catholic school, though. So
I did, and we had we had a lot of biology students that loved stuff like that. I got paid. I won't even tell you.
And let's not bag on season 1 of The Next Generation, because the last episode did bring back the most awesome species in Trek.
The Romulans.
The Klingons.
That's right. True. The
Romulans.
Yeah. That's him.
Said, "We're back."
He's in a room full of Klingons, and he still is mouthing off.
And I would think that the quote warriors would respect that.
Yeah. And here I am, the Federation going.
Plus, David's a big.
Where's more beer?
David's the biggest, fluffiest, elf-like Klingon who you just want to give hugs to anyway.
I mean, who am I to talk? I am about to be singing "My Heart Will Go On" in Klingon. So, really, I got nothing. I'm going to
tell you, I got to think Celine Dion may be a Klingon.
She might be.
Well,
she keeps counting her chest.
That or she's the praying mantis species.
Yeah. Her timing could not have been better. I mean, I feel for her in her situation because she canceled like all of the things so that she could go take care of her husband because he has cancer.
Oh.
But I was like, that's really sad. However, she is leaving a giant gaping musical wound in this world that must be filled with Klingon Celine.
Oh, definitely.
Yay! Yay! I like.
That's really.
Now, one question that I thought of, because we have the awesome video for HIchop, will there be music videos for these upcoming songs, all of them, or 1 or 2, or any videos coming out?
I certainly hope so. Right now, I'm just trying to get the recordings done and get that out there. I think in 2015, that's definitely a way to go. If the Kickstarter itself just goes absolutely crazy, in these last 30 days, then I would most likely hire a really bang up production company and go for it and actually make a bunch of music videos too. But I would have to probably double my final stretch goal. In order to be able to do that. So, because there's actually, when you do video and you put that up online, there's a whole other set of rights you have to buy. And there's so much crazy, and the last thing I want to do is get shut down by Sony BMI or something like that because I've violated some sort of copyright.
You had mentioned the possibility of convention appearances.
Yes.
So you would be going to local ones, or would you be willing to travel to Las Vegas?
I would love to be able to travel to Las Vegas. I think that if I did that, I would definitely want to work on putting together a really solid, 45-minute set. I think I can probably get away with what I've got right now and a few add-ins, but I would want to really, really build out a good, solid show to take on the road if I'm going to go out of state. I really want to give people something fun and worth it. I'm a theater major. I've got to put on a show. If I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it half-assed. So.
Good girl.
So yeah, that's hopefully the goal, and we'll get the songs in the can. One of the things that I'll get when I get the recordings done, I'm going to have the sound engineer strip out all the vocals, so I'll have all the tracks. And I could take them anywhere, and that way, if it's worth my while to bring the musicians, I will absolutely bring the musicians with me. If I can make it worth their while. But if not, then I at least would have the backing tracks, and I would be able to use those and go that route. So.
Well, good luck with that. Now, Jen, this is anybody else have some questions? Because I was going to offer her the opportunity to do something else. But I know David and Mike, and I don't know about Nick. Nick, you've always got something. We figured you'd do the Lipton stuff.
Okay. Well, first I want to say, you're from the Windy City, correct?
Correct.
Cubs or White Sox?
Oh, South Side.
Okay.
White Sox.
Right, she's acceptable then.
Oh, my dad was raised in Pilsen, so he was just just over 10 blocks or so from Comiskey growing up. So yeah,
I just don't understand Cubs fans.
No, they don't care about the game. They're not there for the game.
It's like
they're there for the beer.
It's like masturbating with the cheese grater. Sure, it seems like a fun idea at the time, but really, it's just painful.
They just go for the party. It's a giant frat party in Wrigleyville. You go see a game at this. I hate calling it this, but you go to the Cell, and you go and you watch the game. People enjoy their baseball down there. So
that's funny. Are you a Bears fan as well?
Yeah, I'm not actually a big football fan.
Okay.
I lived in Minneapolis for 8 years, and I dated a guy who is a crazy Vikings fan, so I kind of
that'll take the joy out of football for you.
Yeah. I did get to go. I did take him. I managed to snag tickets to see the Vikings play the Packers in Minneapolis, and I will say that was kind of fun. We had a good time. But yeah, I
hockey?
used to hockey. I mean, by proxy, I live 5 blocks from the United Center, so I have to.
You have to deal with the Blackhawks.
Right.
Do you ever see Uncle Buck walking around?
No.
Uncle Buck reference? Nobody? Uncle Buck? One of the greatest movies ever made?
I know, but he's dead, dude. Of course you wouldn't see him.
Not Uncle Buck's not. John Candy is. Uncle Buck is fine. How dare you. How dare you.
Oh, my God. Well, no, I'm going to give you the opportunity now. Now, David, do you have any more questions?
Well, I could talk all day and millions of questions about Klingon Assault Group and Klingon Christmas Carol, but go for it.
I was going to give Jen the opportunity. This is the time. You are all over the internet, so I want to make sure that people can kind of follow you on Twitter. Where can they follow you on Twitter?
And which website hacked into your photos on the cloud so that we can find those?
At Jen Usellis, so Usellis. Pretty much, if you Google my name, you will find all the things. I have made it very easy to find me. You can also Google Klingon Pop Warrior, and I am the first thing that comes up.
No doubt. But you can also find more information about her, including her bio and some of the other acting jobs she has. It's not she doesn't do just Klingon stuff, guys. Believe it or not.
true.
She has other talents, and I want to make sure.
Hey now, whoa.
Hey-o.
And it's JenUsellis.com.
I do have the lifting questions.
And that's what I want to get this out before we do the lifting questions, because I would forget, and then I would kick myself afterwards, and it would be way uncool. And you said that you're on Instagram too. Do you want people to follow you there or not?
Oh, absolutely. I post all kinds of nerdy things and non-nerdy things. I'm on Untapped. My husband homebrews. We're big beer drinkers.
Sweet.
So if you're on Untapped, you can find me, Jen Usellis, on Untapped.
Have you tried the Klingon Warnog?
I have not tried the Warnog yet, and I keep seeing people posting about it, and I'm like,
And the guys who make it from Canada, they're so nice.
Yep. Federation of Beer.
The Federation of Beer is based up there, but actually the brewery is over by in Indiana.
Yeah, they got
But the sales guys are all from Canada.
Are they really?
Convention, eh?
Oh, yeah.
It was funny. Oh, my God, we had so much fun.
A boot.
So,
how about
Nick,
that beer?
Well, but you're also on Facebook as yourself. But then there's isn't there a new Pop Warrior Facebook account, or what can people do on Facebook?
Yep, on Facebook you can / Klingon Pop Warrior, Facebook.com/Klingon Pop Warrior. And I am on there, and I've been posting updates and things like that about the Kickstarter, and hopefully someday I'll be posting events and things that I'm performing at. So
awesome. All the links will be in our show notes as well. So.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, Nick, have at it.
Okay, but before we get to that, Mike, have you asked her about being?
No, we have not.
Jen, we're gonna do a show, and I really need to get some first script on the Klingons of Long Island.
The Klingons of Long Island.
We're doing
Klingons of Long Island.
The G&T show has a thing called the Klingons of Long Island, and we talk about the big 80s hair.
Yeah.
Because it's very Klingon.
All of it.
And I want to get this done
what
before
were you
I
doing
have
at
to
the
go to
diner
Boca.
at 3 a.m?
I was eating Rokeg blood pie. They have the best Rokeg blood pie in the tri-state area.
Well, I get a phone call from your Aunt Thelma. She tells me that you tell me you're going off to cause hate and discontent, and the next thing I know, you're drinking coffee at the diner. I don't understand.
It was not coffee. It was not coffee.
You never cleaned the Tog's litter box, and now I had to do it, and now my nails are all messed up.
You can get over it. You just go down the street, and they'll take care of you. You're fine. Your nails are fine.
Those little Bolians don't know what they're doing. They tried to use the clear gel. It didn't work.
Oh, you're so picky. Picky. You would swear you were. Just quit picking your toenails with your batleth and you'll be fine.
Sold.
She's in.
She's in.
Mike, you totally missed it. David, were you there when Michelle Spack was doing it with us from Star Trek Continues?
I heard about it.
Hilarious.
My God.
I wish I had it on film. It was great.
She started doing it out of nowhere to me, and I was actually speechless because she just starts to yell. The line for Harlan Ellison is right next to us. I come around the corner, and she starts screaming at me as a Klingon from Long Island.
It was great. It was great.
And it was Dr. McKenna, so, Brrr.
Well,
it is definitely a G&T project that has yet to even come to fruition, but we just pretty much throw it out there for anybody who wants to come in and practice their Long Island accent and act like a Klingon,
It'll be 45 minutes to get to the fucking starbase today.
If I knew my New York City, I would probably be better at it, but...
Good. You did good.
But see, you could be the spin-off to Klingons of Chicago.
That's true. We'll be eating our Targ sausage pizza. And
I can see it now. A house war from the Klingons from New York going after the Klingons from Chicago.
Can you believe it? I sent that little Patuxent vodka. She never sent me a thank you note. I don't understand.
They're on a mission from Kalis.
Can you believe they sent us vodka? What do they think we are? What do they think we are here?
It was vodka.
Oh, that that was wonderful.
All right, so we have what we call our James Lipton questions. I'm going to gather you're aware of Inside the Actor's Studio with your background.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So you know how at the end of the show he always has his questions?
Yes.
And remember, there's a cool $10 for anybody that gets our dream interview with James Lipton. Cool $10.
$10 whole dollars.
Yeah. And a Dairy Queen coupon.
And I might win a coupon for Panda Express.
Now we're getting high. Now we're getting highfalutin.
Well, at least it's not White Castles.
Oh,
on the sliders. When I was in Indianapolis for Army schooling, there was nothing better than 3 o'clock at the White Castle.
When I still ate meat, I did enjoy.
Well, you can still eat there then, because that's really not meat.
That's true, right?
It's horrific. The best hangover food in the world, though.
And secretly vegetarian.
All right, so some of these I may have missed when I was having trouble with my Ferengi equipment. Your favorite Trek series is?
Oh goodness, I'm actually going to go ahead and say Next Gen.
Okay.
Yeah, I just love It's because of the episode where Riker goes to the Klingon ship. Honestly, I base everything on that episode.
That is a great episode.
It is a great episode.
Well, wait a minute though. You haven't seen Deep Space Nine yet, have you?
I actually, when it first came out, my mom and I started watching it, and
rewatch it for the Martok.
Oh yeah,
I'm a Romulan. Martok's the shit.
Yeah, and once more Under the Breach is probably one of the best Klingon episodes too. So
well, as much as I didn't like the tropism of the "you were cordially invited," Martok was so amazing in that episode.
Yeah,
the one where Worf gets married to Jadzia. Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's all right.
But when he tells his wife, when she's like, he tells her, "I will endeavor to die, Sheer." But see, in Martok is something we have talked about. He wasn't. He came from the below castes. So they wrote him, I think, a lot better than most of the other Klingons.
Yeah, he didn't get caught up in like the power grab or the bureaucracy or the I loved Galron in the beginning. Once he became Chancellor, it was kind of like downhill from there. He got bureaucratic and political and power hungry. Yeah.
Martok was just more, let me do my job and then go home and sleep.
Hopefully die honorably along the way.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this one's pretty self-evident. If you could be any species in Trek other than human, which one would you be?
Oh, absolutely. Klingon. Klingon Mach.
See, she would have killed us if she had said something like Abolian.
I'll be an Orion slave girl.
We'll talk after.
Oh, brother.
If you were given an opportunity to write an open-ended series based on one Trek character, who would it be?
Oh, goodness. I don't know if I know my Trek well enough to answer this question.
Well, just what would be interesting to you?
Well, or from the characters that you already know now, who interests you most?
You know what? Actually, I would love to see. I would love to actually go back to the original series, and I would love to see a Klingon spinoff based on like Kang and Mara. I think that would be the most amazing rom-com.
Kang was the shit.
I think it's really interesting because in the show Day of the Dove, when you meet her, she's actually like very level-headed for the most part, and I think
so is Kang, but Michael Ansara had just so much power. You know, he was just so.
He was the shit.
And she, for a Klingon, she was, she's
pretty good. Yeah, she's got a nice set of gams.
Yeah, nice legs for a Klingon.
And I love that she represents science. It's not just the big brutes and the space orcs, but we got her as in a high position, first officer, but also science.
Well, have you read Seekers 2 yet?
No, I haven't gotten to that yet.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. I'm halfway through it, but Kang and Mara are the.
Ooh, nice! I got to get that.
Yeah, I'm over halfway.
Kang and Mara are in the first one and the second one. They're the antagonists in it. Although it's Kang and Mara, so how much of antagonist? But you know what I mean. They're the. No, not that way. As in, they're characters that we know and love. So
right.
Yeah.
And you'll enjoy it, David.
Awesome. And how far are you on your Mara outfit?
Well,
I just started my boots.
I finally got, I think I have my pattern. I built 2 separate tunics over the weekend using totally different fabrics. just to A, teach myself how to sew, and then B, just kind of get a feel for the fit from the pattern that I found. And I think I've got my pattern modified. I found netting for the
to help
sleeve.
you out. 2 years ago, Starfleet Mom and Star Trek Junkie on Twitter dressed as female Klingons based on Mara.
I wonder if
Star
I
Trek
saw
Las Vegas, and everybody thought they were Romulans.
Oh, that was horrible. She said she won't wear it again because everybody was like, "Oh, great Romulan," and like she had to tell people.
I got to be honest, because of the eyebrows, I thought they were at first too.
Well, it's in the eye makeup, but that's the thing. That's why I love, that you mentioned Kang and Mara, not just Kang and Koloth or Kor, but because Mara don't get as much recognition and respect and just people knowing about the character as much.
Well, that was a brutal episode too because Chekhov basically tried to rape her.
Yeah, what was up with that? I mean, like the crazy floaty orb of anger.
And that's for 1968-69, that was pretty brutal for that time frame.
Right.
He had her at knife point, if I remember.
Yeah, in the hallway, and that's when he rips the front of her dress. And I was actually floored by that episode, and I actually wanted her to like kick him in the balls or something, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Come on, Mara. Come on.
Oh, if they wrote that now, she totally would have just jocked him up.
Oh, yeah.
She would have gutted him.
Yeah, she would have gutted him.
All right, now when it comes to reading, is there an author or authors whose books that you when they come out right away, you either download them legally or you run to the bookstore to get them?
There is, actually.
Good.
Not Trekverse, but I am a member of the Vaginal Fantasy Book Club. It's Felicia Day and Bonnie Wilkins Book Club.
I love Felicia Day.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody?
No,
so
I
it's all
love Felicia Day.
But I've always loved paranormal romance novels, and that's sort of why I joined that. And when I was doing Klingon Christmas Carol, I ended up tweeting back and forth with this woman named Larissa Ione, and her books are amazing. She's got great world building, but they are super smutty, and in the best way possible. She writes fantastically hot books, but she also has really great world building, and the Demonica series and the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and so she's got like Sexy Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and every one of her books I like pre-order immediately, and I got to meet her. She came and guested with us during Klingon Christmas Carol, and she's awesome. She's awesome, and she is a huge Star Trek fan. Huge Star Trek.
If I could recommend a urban fantasy author to you, if you like your urban fantasy hot, Kelly Medding.
Kelly Medding.
And I don't just say that because I used to date her. I say that because I truly do love her books. Yeah. She's got a series called the Dreg City series, and then her Meta War series, and now her new series, which is out, Medding. I think you'd really like stuff. Yep. There you go.
I put Larissa Ione's link in our chat room as well, so Mike can attach it.
It'll be in the show notes.
In the show notes.
She's awesome. She's a great person. She's super responsive on Twitter. She loves talking to her fans, and she just writes great books set there in a demon hospital Underworld General Hospital. Ugh. They're awesome.
Like it. All right.
Everyone I've lent those books to loves them, and my copies are falling apart because I've loaned them out so many times. Like they're
I may have to check those out because I got into urban fantasy when I started dating Kelly, and I've been reading Linda Povian's Warrior series, Sins of the Warrior, Sins of the Angel, and all of those, and I've gotten into it. So it's a fun genre.
It is, and it's so much. It's consistently. I'm so happy with how well written it is overall. Like the women are really strong. They're it's just and it's entertaining. It's complete and total escapist and wonderful, but with strong female characters in most cases, and that's by far the biggest genre written by women. Seems to be the urban fantasy. Well, we know how to do it. Apparently. Isolate that mic. Okay, Captain. What's the name of your ship? The IKS? Lollipop.
It's a good ship.
That's
good ship.
awesome.
If you go on my Instagram, you will see I just built a model of
I saw it.
a battle cruiser, a Klingon battle cruiser.
It's like a D7, right?
Yeah, it's a D7 battle cruiser, only I painted it pink and metallic purple and have bedazzled it.
It's missing a bead right where the forward torpedo launch
I still have some work to do. It still needs some more rhinestones.
And that little Jessica with her shiny ship. Who does she think she is?
And actually, I think that
it's Dolce and Gabbana.
it's the IKS Hello Kitty.
See, Klingons can be fabulous and bling out. I love it.
Exactly.
Oh my God! I'd like to see the Tim Gunn of Klingons.
Okay, next.
I don't know what the Warriors are being issued these days, but it's just terrible.
Make it work.
Oh my!
Just make it happen. Do you have a favorite adjective? Do you overuse it? And is there an adjective you loathe?
Oh, I think like a lot of women, I hate moist. I hate that word.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the second time we've had somebody answer that.
Moist. I don't like the word moist. Do I have my husband would probably be able to answer this question for me.
Wait, why do you hate the word moist?
I want to say the last person who answered that was a woman as well. How funny.
A lot of women don't like that word. I don't know. It just moist.
It's gross.
No.
It sounds dirty, but it's not.
Now, if something was in that condition, how would you describe it to avoid using that word?
Wet. I would still rather hear somebody say wet panties than moist panties. Like, to me, one just sounds creepy. Like, the first one is kind of hot, the second one is kind of creepy. I don't know.
So
like
Buffalo Bill would say moist. A normal person would say wet.
Exactly.
I like it.
I don't know if I have what my adjective would be that I overuse. I used to overuse epic too much.
Very 90s.
Yeah. I actually still say rad on occasion as well.
Well, welcome to that club. Sometimes my Southern California comes out in a big way, and I completely forget. Oh, yeah, it's not 1983 anymore. Sorry.
He lost Terry there. Second.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know. I think you stumped me on that one.
All right.
I have to come back around to that question.
But do you have a favorite one?
A favorite adjective?
Yeah.
I think it's just no. Is that even an adjective? I don't even know. No, that's not. I was thinking coagulate, but that's a verb.
That's a good word, though.
That's a great word. Facetious, I think. I just like the word facetious. And actually, this is probably a noun even, but I've been like, for some reason I went through a phase where like every other word out of my mouth was Schadenfreude for like a week. I even went and had a beer. I found a beer called Schadenfreude, and I'm like, no, but I have to drink this now. That's.
How about a phrase? Do you have a phrase that you use a lot, like a verbal crutch?
Ooh.
Because and we've talked about this in the show. Terry, when we're doing our show, she'll say, "As everybody knows," and then
I do it all the time.
And Mike and I are like,
do it all the time.
Really? We didn't know about that.
No, I'm horrible with it.
Nobody's pointed one out to me. I would feel like that's the kind of thing somebody would have to point out to you.
Sometimes you can catch it yourself, though, too.
If I do catch it, it would probably be doing chat or something like that.
Interesting.
But I can't. Oh, I don't know. Now I'm going to be really paranoid. I'm going to be listening, going, "Whoa, what did I say in that entire interview that I repeated over and over and over again?"
The only reason why we bring it up is because so many of our listeners are storytellers, and they tend to use the same verbal crutch speaking as they do in writing. So when you're telling a story, we always try to keep people cognizant of, remember, try not to talk like yourself sometimes.
Right.
You have verbal crutches, they'll show up in your writing. And the same in acting, I would assume, when you're improvising.
When my dad is telling a story... When my dad's telling a story, a lot of times he'll start it off with what it amounts to, and it's like, just get to the story. You don't have to tell us what it amounts to.
The word, in that case, it would probably be so.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm in public relations, and when I have to speak in front of groups, I caught myself that I had, my verbal tick.
Right.
And mine was, at the beginning of each sentence, I would say, evidently. And I despise that word, so I don't know why I was leaning on it.
I got into a really bad habit of saying basically a lot. Yep. But it was in part because I had been, this is terrible. I had toured with a children's theater company, and my tour put me along the border of Texas. And for 7 weeks, I was along the border of Texas. And when I was down there, we were specifically in a lot of junior highs. Oh. And the girls, they would talk to you, and they would be like, basically.
What about like? Do they say a lot of like?
No, I'm sorry, but that's straight out of Albuquerque too. It's the same, basically. Oh my God, so funny.
And I was trying to explain to people back home. And every time I would it was just in my ear every time a girl would say that, or, somebody would say that. And I just, eventually by the time I left, because I was just immersed in it, and I have a tendency to pick up dialects and things like that pretty quickly. So by the time I left there, I was doing the same thing. I do say like too much.
I do too, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll call it a colloquialism and go.
Yeah.
What's next, Nick? Did we lose him?
Here's the big one for you.
Oh, okay, here it is.
Are you sitting down?
No. Okay.
If
now
you were approached, you put in your proposal, and they said, go ahead and do it, and you were given the green light to kill a major Star Trek canon character.
Forever dead, right?
Forever dead. They don't come back. No magic pill, no Q.
And not because you necessarily want to see them dead, but because you think it would be a great story, or because you want to see them dead. What character do you pick?
Oh no! This is where my lack of watching all things Trek hurts me. Oh, I would probably kill off McCoy.
Oh. I'm Larry Jim.
Larry Nemechek somewhere just screamed.
Just because that would shock the shit out of people.
I have to tell you, out of the original series, he would probably be the one I would least like to see die the most.
Well, that's just it. I love every time I watch an episode, I wait for him to kind of damn it, Jim it. Where is the? Even when he doesn't say it, there's that moment. He has the damn it, Jim moment in every episode, and every episode would be a little sadder without it. So
it would be monumental and touching, because he's like the heart of the trio, right? Kirk, Spock, McCoy. But you would also get the epic line, "I'm dead, Jim," and then.
Yes. No, he would have to say, "Damn it, Jim, I'm dead."
Those would be his final words.
If he was going to get the proper epic death, I think his death would have to be with him alongside Spock. Not so much Kirk, but Spock, because of their. I think about the Tholian web, the scene that they shared where, and just because they brought out the best and worst in each other.
Yeah, right.
I like it. What a great answer.
I think it would scare people. They're like, wait a minute, what? You can't kill the doctor. Who's going to heal all the people?
Worse yet, who do you get to replace him?
Right.
Chapel.
I would kill Mr. Kyle.
Doesn't he die in every episode?
No, he never died.
Actually, it was funny as my husband was watching TOS the other night. Actually, last night he was watching a couple of episodes, and I went to bed early, and he comes in and wakes me up, and he goes, "Oh my God, there was an episode, and 3 red shirts went down to the planet, and all 3 came back."
What?
Wow. They also got promoted that same episode.
They were allowed to retire on the spot.
They were given gold pips.
Yeah. They were even given pensions, and they didn't even have money then.
Didn't Kyle make it into one of the movies? I thought I saw him on.
He was the communications guy in Wrath of Khan on the Reliant.
Yep, there you go.
Well, Jen, we really want to say thank you. And before we tie things up and allow for one final round of questions from our panel here, I want to remind everybody that Jen Usellis and her Klingon Pop Warrior music project can be found for supporting her Kickstarter campaign at Kickstarter. Klingon Pop Warrior Music Project, currently sitting around 77% funded. She has 31 days to go for a $1,900 goal, but there is some fantastic stretch goals. So don't forget, if she can get fully funded, don't stop. Keep sending the money because the stretch goals would be a blast. Lady Gaga, Pat Benatar songs.
That's the one I want to hear the most.
And we all want to hear the Pat Benatar song. So,
Sharon och Parmak
love it. Love it. Love it. And that is.
Well, then I'm going to challenge you. Your next one has to be Total Eclipse of the Heart.
So I'm going to have to find a guy. Oh, you know what? I think I heard Il Troubadour was learning that.
Ooh.
Oh,
very cool.
Very fun. So, again, thanks, Jen, for joining us. You guys got anything else before we tie things up?
Just remember, guys, she's married.
I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to sit down with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yep, and to continue that, I would like to just thank you for doing this project, especially starting with HIchop and then continuing with this one, because we see a lot of, parodies and ideas for parodies, but this one looks like it's just going to be amazing, and I can't wait for it. And it promotes the Klingon language, the Klingon fandom, and I can't wait for it. It'll be awesome.
I'm the new Klingon cultural ambassador. Look out.
It's okay, Nick. You'll find somebody for the Romulans one day.
I've already found them. They're just close.
Oh, great answer. Great answer. Well done.
Boo.
Again, everybody.
Come on out and fight like real men.
If you remember, the Klingons also have cloaks.
Yeah, they do. So how do you find each other? Oh, that's right. The feds act as everybody's target.
That's right.
The way it works, it's like a game of Marco Polo. Marco.
And they flash out and flash back in.
What?
Yeah.
That would be it. You just drop your shields for a second and then bring them back.
Marco.
I saw him over there. And then everyone runs over there and there's nobody there.
A big galactic game of Marco Polo. Okay, that's awesome.
On Pacifica.
Yeah, we won't talk about what Riker's doing there. All right.
Hello.
All right.
Just keep him away from Angel One.
Oh, God, tell me about it.
All right, hold on, because Jen's pretty cool, so I got to ask you. Superman, dick or not a dick?
Superman, dick or not a dick?
See, if she can't say not a dick right away, he's a dick.
I guess so. It's not his fault he's basically impenetrable except for one stupid rock from a planet, what do you do with that? It's hard not to be a dick.
So she's saying he's a dick. He's a
sweet dick. Nothing can really hurt him. So, it's hard not to strut a little bit if you're basically impervious to everything. There you go.
Right on.
Aquaman, hero, or what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Thank you. Thank you.
But
I like her.
But Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Woman, come on.
But what the fuck? But what the fuck? Yeah.
Can you imagine Jason Momoa as Klingon?
Oh.
Absolutely.
That even got Deyvid.
Awesome.
The Dothraki are basically Klingons.
Klingon. That is true.
They're horse-ride Klingons. So, yeah, absolutely. He would make a fantastic Klingon.
Yeah.
Well, here's a quick question, though. You brought that up. Dothraki also has the constructed language with the fandom. Have you looked at that at all, or have you had it, now that you've, worked with Klingon, have you thought about it?
Now that you've made the mistake of dabbling, no, I'm just kidding.
I've dabbled in one. I'm just going to go learn them all. No, I haven't. I haven't actually looked at that yet. But I do say yet because, I'm certainly curious. I'm conlang curious.
Since we're casting, Lucy Lawless is a Klingon.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about
I'm so
that
excited she's going to be on the next season of Sorry.
I know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm very excited.
And I would love to see Karen Gillian.
20 more days.
As a
20
Romulan.
more days.
Karen Gillian as a Romulan? Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now that we've casted everything, we really do need to go.
Thank you again. It's been
And
fun.
good luck with your Kickstarter project, and thank you very much for joining us. Nick, you want to...
And definitely stay in touch with us and give us updates and all of that. You're always welcome back.
Great, thank you. Yeah,
I
once
said
the songs are done, we'll have something more to talk about even.
Awesome. All right.
Everybody, you good? David, you good?
Yep. I'm
David,
actually,
your photo is hilarious.
I had to do it.
That's so not you. You know?
I love that I don't even have a Klingon picture on Skype. I'm just like, hi, it's me.
I like your photo. You're like, look at me, hello.
Just got my hairs did.
Maybe the bangs are covering the ridges.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Now, hey, Mike, David, before I forget, I want to ask, the Klingons infected with the virus, like Kang and Kor and all them, how do you pronounce that?
Oh, do you have
I know what you're talking about.
Because they keep saying it in the Seekers.
Yeah, I need to see the word.
Yeah.
And David need to as well.
I'm going to look that up real quick.
Yeah, because I've been stumbling over it as I read it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the augment virus. The Levodian flu?
Yeah, but it's not that. It's what the Klingons call the people who don't have the ridges and stuff.
Oh.
Right.
Because they had their own, like, derisive term for it, which is really fucked up if you think about it, because look at Kor and Kang and Koloth and all of them. I mean, it's not like they weren't great warriors.
Right.
I mean, well, Kor.
Well, he was. And then
he had his issues.
he enjoyed the blood wine a bit much.
He really did.
Oh,
okay.
I'm looking. I'll look at it if you can see it. I'm trying to like find it on like Memory Alpha.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
Because I used to know that, but I'm just going to say I'm really looking forward to the songs, not just to enjoy them, but as Trek Radio's resident Klingon, I play pretty much all the Klingon parodies, even the bad ones, but I only play them maybe once or twice. But I'm really looking forward to playing these a lot on my shows.
Woohoo! Yay! I know. All right, Nick.
Terry, you want to take us home?
No, you do.
All right. Well,
I got to start you off, so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you all for joining us on this G&T Supplemental with the lovely Jen Usellis and a special appearance by David. There you go. Wow. See, Mike, he doesn't draw it out. He just gets right there and clears the lung butter.
Well, there's a glottal stop at the end, which means you're supposed to cut off the sound and air, but that's all technical and whatever. But even on the show, you see people, Klingons, going, kabla, because they really get into it.
I like the long version.
There you go.
God bless you. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great night. Joel Untrue.
Music for the G&T show is provided by Warp 11, Grethor, 5-Year Mission, and Andrew Allen's Smooth Federation.
G&T Show is a Busy Little Beaver production.